All right, guys, I'm live. So you can see the production quality has not increased at all. And I'm checking, okay, yeah, the timer's going. Okay, but I'm still at it. This was a very interesting month, and I haven't posted anything in a week. So here's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about how last month sucked. I'm going to talk about how this month was way better. I'm going to talk about residual income. I'm going to talk about recurring income. And I'm going to talk about how I got a new client and some of the things that I'm working on. So hang out with me and I'll tell you about some of the stuff. And if you're watching this on replay, put any questions you have in the comments and I'll make sure that I respond to them. And if you have anything you want me to talk about on the next video, I will. So first, it's been cool. I have a few more subscribers now. It's still like a small channel. I know I'm just starting, but I think it's cool that people are starting to watch. I'm starting to get some comments. And I'm starting to see some of my friends who are on Facebook and some of these groups I'm in, like the Ty Lopez group, that are starting to show up and watch some videos here. But I got my notes here. So last month, really rough, $3,000 month. That's it. And some of that I had to pay out because I outsource some of my content creation and SEO work. $3,000 a month, had to pay a chunk of that out. So that sucks. That's why I still have a 9-to-5, because my 9-to-5 paid me a lot more than that, way more than that, plus health benefits, plus paid time off. Okay, so I'm not staying there forever, but there's a reason why I have it for now while I'm transitioning. And plus, I'm doing some stuff like I have a second business, and check it out. It's getajob.co, getajob.co. And it's a course that I made on how to get a job in as little as 3 weeks. And I made it with one of my recruiter friends. So I've been putting some time into that. And actually, I had to invest a lot of money into that because I have someone else doing some of the marketing for me because I just don't have time to do it the way I'd want to. Plus, you know, they're a lot more experienced. So I have them running with that. And that was a big investment because, you know, like us SMMA guys, we charge a lot of money. So what's up? All right. So 3,000, that was hard. But what was cool is that with a lot of my clients, and I've said this before, people usually kind of freak out. Like a lot of the stuff I do is website design, and I usually charge at least $3,000 to do a website. It's usually going to be between $3,000 and $5,200 for me to do a website now. At the start, it wasn't like that. I'd do stuff for $350 just because, you know, I was getting experience. And that's cool. It's fine to do something like that just to get experience. But then you let them pay in multiple payments. Because if you go to a small business owner and you're like, okay, I need $3,400 to do your website, most of them are going to freak out. You'll be like, that's way too much. There's no way I can do that. I can have a guy down the street do it for $500, or I can do it on Wix for $12 a month. So if you finance it, though, first you have to show them all the value before you even talk about price. But then when they freak out, tell them that you'll finance it over a few months. So anyway, the point is that over this last weekend, Labor Day weekend, I didn't really work. I almost didn't work at all. But I had $2,600 check come in, $1,700 check come in, $400 check come in, and then I have another guy who owes me another $1,200, but he's getting a little bit slow on it. So we're talking about it. We might, you know, have to do some work to get him up to speed there. Good guy. He's just, you know, it's hard. Revenue's hard. So so then I was thinking just over the weekend, then I made about almost $4,700, about $4,200 just in these different things that are coming in. And so that's kind of the cool part of it, is this stuff is like playing catch up. So this month I'll do really well. Okay. So, and then one of the things that I think is a helpful concept is something called unearned revenue. If you guys have taken even one accounting class, you've heard about this. There's earned revenue and there's unearned revenue. And what that means, earned revenue, is when you've gotten paid for work you've done. So you charged a client $1,200 to do some social media management for them that month, and you performed the work already. That's earned revenue. Now, unearned revenue is you charge someone $1,200 to do some social media management for them, but you haven't done the work yet. So that's actually a liability against you if you're going to use accounting talk, which means you can say, oh yeah, man, I got $1,200, but you haven't earned that money yet until you've paid it all off. So I think a goal for any of us who are doing digital marketing is clear out your unearned revenue as quickly as possible and turn it into actual revenue. So anything you've gotten paid for, you have to execute on as fast as you possibly can. There's a couple reasons. One, it makes you look good to the client. Another is that otherwise it's just something hanging over your head, which creates stress for you. Another one is that if you are doing that, this is just how the universe works. If you think about the laws of how attracting things work, getting work is, there's a couple really important laws to know. One is that you have to pour out a tremendous amount of energy if you want to get anything back. And so if anyone's thinking that they're going to be hanging out on the beach at the start, that means you're giving nothing. You're pouring out no energy, no life force. And so then why would anything come back to you? There's some people who can kind of rig the system, but it won't last for very long. And I said that in a previous video. So you pour out and give and give and give and give and give. And then the way that the universe works is you'll start to get things back. And so when you think about unearned revenue, if someone's given you money and you haven't done work for them, you're in debt to them. You need to clear that out as soon as possible. And then it creates a vacuum for you to receive more work. Know this, like if you were ever working just a normal 9-to-5 job and you had all this stuff on your plate, that's a source of stress. And as soon as you clear everything off your plate because you bust ass and you do the work, then you can have more stuff come in. And if you're thinking about the job world, that might mean promotions come in, or you get extra responsibilities, which means a pay increase, things like that, or more learning opportunities or more freedom. But whatever you do, once you've committed to the work, you have to complete it as soon as you possibly can and clear that out. And that's what frees you up for more things to come in and for better things to come in. And you just prove yourself over and over to the universe that you are willing to work, you are willing to give, you're willing to do whatever you have to do to have something come in. And that is a law. So you can't deny that law. You have to obey that law. So the thing that was happening last month is I had this $5,800 client project that I thought was going to come in. And it will, like I expect, it'll probably pop this month. But last month, they just weren't ready to pull the trigger. And so I'm still working on them. They're sold on it. They know they need to do it, but they're trying to come up with a revenue to do it or the money to do it. It'll be my revenue. It's their, payment, their expense. So I expect that to pop this month. But here's something I was thinking about. I got my numbers here. So if you're thinking about recurring income, this is what I have right now. $2,600 a month for SEO and AdWords. $1,200 a month because I just took on a new SEO client. And I got that client because I built their website and I built the hell out of that website and it looks fantastic. And so they were like, okay, well, what do we do next? What's the next step? And I proved myself in doing that work, and now they want to move forward. I said, yeah, it's $1,200 a month for us to start doing SEO. And so now that's going to be my recurring revenue. Plus, I'm going to, maintain their website too. But that's really not any work to maintain a website. So then I'll have another 200 coming in from a guy's site who I just finished, another 200 from another person's site that I finished. 200 to 350 is what I'm usually charging for website maintenance, and that gets them a couple hours of work. All it really is. I'll keep the plugins updated. I have some premium plugins that I put on there, and I'll keep paying for those. Most of them I've already paid for because I use them on so many different websites. But that's part of the value add, is that I pay for them so that they don't have to, because it's actually a lot of money that goes into that. And then that's the thing, though, it's a lot of money, but I've spread it out across multiple clients. So it's not as big of an expense for me, but I still charge each of them the same for it as if they were the only one getting it. So, all right. So anyway, so I got a couple of those, and then $500 a month. That one realtor that I was working with, she wants me to start doing her social media management for her now. And so that together is going to be $4,700 a month, which I don't consider to be a lot, especially because this is going to require virtually no work from me. So, but if you think about this, $4,700 a month, a year, that equals $56,400. So even if you can do that, even if you can build up $4,000 to $5,000 a month in recurring revenue, then you're going to be making $48,000 to $60,000 a year, and that's not that hard to do. I mean, I'm kind of already doing it already, and I'm still pretty much a beginner at this stuff. Plus, I have my whole other job. So I'm doing 40 hours a week at that. Plus, I have this other second business. So I'm doing this in maybe 20 hours a week. So come on, you guys could do that too. If you have questions on how I'm doing it, just put them in the comments. And then I was thinking, even I outsource some of this stuff, so it's actually only about 38,000 a year that I make because I outsource a certain chunk of it, and I have to pay those guys. But even that's $3,100 a month, which is $3,700 a year. That's still a decent amount of money for just a side gig. And then you just stack on top of that real work. And if I was doing this full time, of course, I'd have a lot more clients. So even if you can do stuff, social media management, even if you're just doing something like just putting up a few posts, optimizing some pages, and you charge them like $500-$600 a month, you get 10 of those people, then it's like, okay, that's $5,000 there. You throw on a couple websites or something on top of that, you can make a pretty decent living just doing something like that. Just learn how to get the clients. I just got another referral over the weekend for someone who needs work. If they take me on, then that's going to be a few $1,000s more. And then, for something like website maintenance, just once you build the website, someone who needs website maintenance, they're going to stay with you for much longer than a social media client will. Because a lot of social media clients are going to churn and burn within 2 to 6 months. Some will stay with you for longer, but if you talk to guys who do this a lot of them will tell you about 6 months, maybe 8 months, and then a lot of these guys fall off. But if you're doing their website, then you can do $200-$300 a month. It's not that much work, and those people stay with you forever because they're never going to put in the work to learn how to do their website, and they know if they don't keep it updated, it's not secure, it can crash. It's a necessity. Social media, a lot of people don't see as a necessity. So anyway, guess what I'm trying to say here is if you find these different ways to stack your income and kind of stack things up, then you can take a bunch of little things and actually make them into a pretty serious income. And then if you have like a 9 to 5 on top of that, and then that's your security blanket so you can just relax while you're doing stuff, then you've set yourself up pretty well. And if you want to leave the job and you want to do that whole, Coronas on the beach kind of lifestyle, and that doesn't make any sense to me, but if that's something that someone wants, then you can do that. And then, even if you lose your job, you know that you have 40, 50K coming in, which will be enough for most people to pay rent or mortgage, basic bills, no problem, and health insurance and things like that. Some of you guys don't care about that. Some of you guys are in like Canada or Norway. But so anyway, there's these different things you can think about. So even if you're doing both at the same time, you're creating multiple streams of revenue plus, having a steady. That's kind of cool. That's a pretty secure place to be. And then it frees you up so you can experiment and try things. One of the things that's just really hard is if you have no money to spend, then it's hard for you to go out on a limb. Like I'll see a lot of these people, because I'm in the Ty Lopez private Facebook group because I did the SMMA course, and probably a lot of people, if you're watching this, you did it too. A lot of people are like, hey, I only got $100 to start my business, or I can't afford to start my LLC. And seriously, starting an LLC, depending on what stage, could be like, $200, $300, including, the processing fees. It's kind of nothing. And so if you can't even scrounge up $200-$300, how are you going to take a risk on $2,000-$3,000 to try out something new? I just think that puts you in a rough place. And so that's why I encourage having something that is just generating income and capital so that you can invest in the business, take more courses, and then hopefully you're getting clients as soon as possible so that your business is just supporting itself. But you need to have a ramp up. And one of the worst things is to feel desperate. Like if you seem desperate to get a deal, then it totally turns off anyone who you'd be doing business for. If you don't have that energy about you, if you're a guy who gets something done and you can support yourself and take care of yourself and you're on top of it, why the hell would someone think that you can take care of their stuff? You have to get your own ducks in a row before anyone's really going to trust you. Or maybe you can fake it for a little bit. But I mean, if you start to feel desperate, it's just going to be a bad scene. So, all right, well, we're getting towards 15 minutes. So I'm going to stop this. I hope this whole rant and talk and the different things I'm throwing out here are helpful for people. And I want to serve whoever's watching this. And I want to give everything I can to you. all the value I can give. So if you want to see something, let me know. If you have questions, put it in the comments. I'm totally going to make sure that I get it out there and I get the answers out there and I help you however I can, because I'm so committed to making a contribution here. All right, peace out, guys.